Touch is the nose boop to the palm of our hand. We can use this as a way to redirect our dog away from something or to simply get them warmed up and focused to work with us.
Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes.
For sitting down, make sure you only ask the cue once and try not to repeat yourself.
Yes.
Cueing with your hand signal and your verbal, say sit or down, and then hold it until he completes it, then mark yes, and deliver the treat. When he's in a down position, I like to deliver the treat to the ground so he understands that he should stay down there and not pop up for the treat. You can also give a second or third treat in either position to help encourage your dog to stay in that position and to not just take the treat and then be done.
Yes. Yes. Sit. Yes, good boy. Nice job.
For recall, you're going to say, Theo, come. And then as soon as he turns to look at you, you're going to mark yes, to letting him know that that was the right thing. And then you're going to begin praising him as he moves forward towards you and then reward once he arrives.
Nice job, Theo.
One of my favorite ways to practice this is just when you're outside in the yard with him, call him, reward him, and then let him go back to doing whatever he's doing. And then maybe a few minutes to 5-10 minutes later, call again, reward. And you're just building in that kind of random reward and check-in system. And this helps build up for all those real-life recalls you may have in the future.
Nice job. Theo, come. Yes, good boy.
Bed means go to your bed and stay there until you're released. His release word is free. One way to practice this is in training sessions like I'm doing here. You're going to cue bed. Once he's in there, mark yes and reward with a treat. Make sure you place the treat on the bed. That's important because it teaches him that the food comes to him on the bed and not trying to get up and meet you for it because the treat is in your hand. All the food comes to him on the bed. So once you've given that initial reward, you're going to begin walking around, adding in distance, distraction, and ultimately longer durations of time between each treat. So you're going to periodically come back, reward by placing a treat in the bed, and then continue on. You do not need to repeat place because you've already told him what he should be doing. Those treats are just letting him know that he's doing the right thing and to keep up the good work. Over time, as you practice more and more, you're going to build in bigger distractions and ultimately more duration between each reward until he can do this for longer periods of times with less rewards. If he gets up and you did not release him, it's simply sending him back, say bed, but this time don't reward right away. Walk around a little bit, do a distraction, or just simply add a little of duration and then reward. This is really important. Otherwise, you can get stuck in a loop where your dog gets off the bed, you send him back, reward him, and then he gets off again just to be sent back and get rewarded. So make sure if he gets off, you just send him back, but don't reward right away. And when you are ready to release him, say free, and that lets him know he is free to get up and move around as he wants. If he doesn't get up right away, try to say it one more time and be a little bit more enthusiastic to encourage him up. If he still doesn't get up, that's okay. Simply leave him be. Free means he's free to do what he wants. And if what he wants to do is stay on the bed just in case more reinforcement comes, that's a great thing. And it helps us know that he really understands place and is really excited to work with us on it. When practicing building in distractions, you can do things like walking past him, stomping, scooting your feet, jumping, dancing, just doing lots of different things, squatting down at his level, messing with stuff on counters or in cabinets, opening doors, anything that you can do to like kind of distract him. And then you try that distraction. If he stays, you go back, reward. If he gets off, you reset him just like we talked about. Another way I like to practice is in real life context. And when I'm doing this in real life context, I do what we call passive training. So what this means is instead of cueing him to do bed in this moment, I'm actually just going to set up the environment in a way that he is likely to choose his bed. So we're going to be eating dinner. I'm going to pull the bed up next to me and I'm going to say nothing. But if he gets in the bed, I'm going to say yes and toss him a treat. As I continue to eat, if he's still in the bed, I'm going to toss him another treat. And I'm going to continue that throughout dinner. If he gets up, I'm not going to say anything because I didn't tell him he had to be in there, so he is free to move around. But if I see him get back on the bed, I'm going to make sure I reward it. So this is called kind of passive training and capturing good behavior. So when he does the thing I like, I'm letting him know that and then continuing to reinforce it. You're going to want to reinforce frequently in the beginning, and then just like with any of this training, over time you will slowly wean down on how often those treats come until he can stay in his bed throughout an entire mealtime. If you choose to practice this during dinner, one thing I recommend is using something high value, but also something that you don't mind touching and then touching your own food. For me, that's string cheese. You can just grab one stick of string cheese and bring it to the table with you and then just tear off pea-sized pieces throughout dinner to toss him and reward him with. You can also, of course, pre-cut those. But you can use any treat, but this just helps make it really special, especially since we're asking for a long duration of time, and also keeps our hands nice and clean while we're eating our own food. When you practice in context frequently, what you will start to see is a dog who is choosing those things every time without being told. So, for instance, with Theo, he knows that this is what we do. This is our routine every night during dinner. And so all I have to do is have the beds there, and I could be prepping plates and getting us to the table and turn around, and he will already be on his bed waiting. Again, because he knows the routine, I don't even have to say anything. He knows exactly what's going to get him reinforced and what we expect of him during mealtime. Stay is very similar to place, only it's without the bed. So you're going to ask him to sit or down, then tell him to stay. And just like we did with place, you're going to walk away, come back, reward, walk away again, reward, and then release with the keyword free.
Stay.
Another key difference between place and stay is the duration of time I would expect for a dog to be able to do this cue. For stay, I use this for something shorter, anywhere from 30 seconds to a few minutes, 5 minutes, under 10 minutes, essentially. Whereas place, I'm going to use for something longer term, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes long, because it is more comfortable for the dog. They have a little bit more leeway to move and adjust, versus a stay is a very strict, do not move from this position.
Good boy.
Wait means stop and do not go any further. So when we say wait, we are drawing an imaginary line and saying you cannot cross this line. It does not matter if our dog is in any specific position. They can be sitting, standing, laying down, or even moving around, as long as they are not crossing the line that we drew. So what you'll do is say wait. You're going to step through a doorway, step out the front door, go up some stairs. And then you can reward if you want them to stay there, or if you want them to come with you, you can say free, and that releases them to cross that line. A key difference between wait and place and stay, other than there being a little bit more leeway where they don't have to be in a certain position and they do have leeway to move around, the other key difference is that the wait only needs released if you're going to let them cross the line. So if I was going to step into my bedroom and I didn't want the dog to follow me, I could say wait. They're going to stop at that threshold of the door. I'm going to get what I need and then come back out of the room. And I do not have to say anything and I don't have to release, because I'm not letting them come into the room. If I'm going to go up the stairs and I want them to follow me, but I just want them to wait so I'm not being tripped as I go up and down stairs, I'm going to say wait, go up the stairs, and then release them with free so they know they can come with me. Of course, this is also very useful at the front door, helps build up so we don't have dogs dashing outdoors and getting out and running around. This is something really great to practice when there's a package at the front door, because you can cue wait, step out the door, pick up your package, come inside, shut the door, and then you do not have to say anything else other than praise them and give them a treat. Leave it means back away from the thing you were headed towards. So here we're using treats and dropping treats and saying leave it. And as long as he stays back or backs away, I'm going to mark yes and reward. You can practice this by dropping lots of treats on the ground to help build up for a real life spill. Drop it means let go of the thing that is in your mouth. With drop it, you'll say drop it. As soon as he lets go of the item, yes, and then reward. In real life, for both leave it and drop it, if you do not have a treat on you, you're going to do what we call a praise party to the treats. So you cue drop it, he lets go of the item, and then you're going to begin praising him and running with him to go wherever you keep treats to get him that reward. But we're going to drag that reinforcement out by giving him a lot of reinforcement and a lot of praise as we get to the treat jar. Of course, other than practicing just in real time with items, you can also practice this anytime you play games like tug with him or fetch, where he has a toy in his mouth, ask him to drop it, reward him, and then continue on with the play.
Drop it. Yes, good boy. Drop it. Yes, good boy. Yes, good job.
See video 2 for all things leash walking and taking Theo out and about. And that's a wrap on Theo's training. See video 2 for more information about leash walking and taking Theo out and about.